Namaskarams to all Samskriti Europe viewers. We are in the second day of the Margazhi Utsavam. My name is Sugandhi Narayanan, and today I got the Bhagyam to speak a few words about Shri U.Ve.Paravastu Varadharajan Swamy. Adiye is definitely not eligible to speak about Swamy, but only due to the kripa of Tayar Perumal and Adiyen Acharya, Adiyen will speak a few words. Emberumanar Swami Ramanujacharya had established 74 Simhasanadipatis to develop and propagate Sri Vaishnava Sampradayam. Swami Aranapurattu Alvan was one of them. Sri Paravastu Patrabiran Jiyar hails from the great Thiruvamsam or the lineage of Sri Aranapurattu Alvan. He was also one of the Ashtadiggajangal in the group of Swami Manavada Mamunigal. Sri Paravastu Varadharajan Swamy belongs to this Thiruvamsam. Swamy grew up in Secunderabad, which is now the Telangana district, about his 10th grade, and later he joined the Patashala of Swami Velukudi Krishnan in Srirangam. There, Swamy learnt about 6 years, Divya Prabandhams, Shastra Grantangal and Sampradaya Grantangal. He learnt it from Shri U.Ve.Paravastu Swamy. He also learnt a lot of Kalaksheba Granthams, including Sri Bhashyam, Upanishad Bhashyam like Sri Gita Bhashyam from Sri Vishnu Chittan Swamy. And he also learnt Granthams, and he was also hearing Upanyasams from Sri Velukudi Krishnan Swamy. Swamy lives in Srirangam, and he is also part of leading group in the Srirangam temple, which is called as Nalayara Adhyapakar Goshti, where they are also respected in the temple with Mudal Maryade. As part of Kovil Tennacharya Sampradaya Samrakshana Sabha, he is also doing Nityapadi Kalakshevam, daily Kalakshevam at the Udayavar Sannidhi in the temple. Paravastu Varadharajan Swamy has also done M.A. Vishishtadvaita Vedantam and also many more to say. Now, I will also play Swamy's Mangalasasanam and his few words to Samskriti Europe. He will be speaking about the month Margazhi and Srimad Andal. Thank you.
Namaskaram. This is the auspicious month of Margazhi, wherein everyone who is interested in Sanatana Dharma is celebrating. This month is called Margazhi in Tamil. It is Margashirsha in Sanskritam and also called Dhanurmasam. What makes this month so significant, so great, is the question here. Bhagavan Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says, Masanam Margashirshoham. Among all the months in a year, I am Margashirsha. But again the question is still intact. why does Bhagavan choose this particular month? So there are many explanations given. Let me explain one. In a day of a human, the most auspicious period of time is called a Brahma Muhurta, which is just before sunrise, usually between 4:30 am to 6 am. This is called a Brahma Muhurta and it is considered to be very auspicious. It is said that during that period of time, Sattva Guna is very prominent. There are three gunas: Sattva Guna, Rajo Guna, Tamo Guna. Among them, Sattva Guna is very prominent during that particular period of time, which is called a Brahma Muhurta. So whatever we do or whatever we learn, it becomes fruitful very easily. So this is the Brahma Muhurta for a human being, for a Manushya. Now, if we look at the Brahma Muhurta for Devas, it has a different meaning. See, a year for a human is a day for the Devatas. So there must be a sunrise or the beginning of the day for Devas. That is called Uttarayanam. Usually the beginning of Uttarayanam is the beginning of the day. See, our year is divided into two parts. It is called Uttarayanam and Dakshinayanam. The Uttarayanam is the day for Devas and the Dakshinayanam is the night. We all celebrate Makara Sankranti, which is called by different names in different regions. But that particular Makara Sankranti, it shows the beginning of the Uttarayanam period. So Makara Sankranti is like the sunrise for humans. No. Like sunrise is for humans, Makara Sankranti is for Devas. Let's put it in that way. So see, the period before sunrise is Brahma Muhurta for us. And the period before Makara Sankranti is Brahma Muhurta for the Devatas. And that is nothing but the month of Margazhi, the month of Margashirsha. So even the Devas, they have a lot of Sattva Guna in that particular period of time. So whatever vratas we do, or whatever dharmic actions we do, they are, they become more fruitful in this period of time, because even the Devatas are very pleasant in that particular period of time. So this is the greatness of Margazhi, and that's the reason Krishna, among all the months in a year, chooses Margazhi and says Masanam Margashirshoham. Looking at all these things, our acharyas, our elders have tried to utilize this period of time as much as possible. Usually we find that there are a lot of lectures going on everywhere, lot of kacheris going on everywhere, and as much as possible spiritual activities are done in this particular month. Actually, in the month of Margazhi, other material activities such as wedding, etc. are not performed, because this has been exclusively dedicated for spiritual activities. So that is the greatness of Margazhi. And speaking about Margazhi, we can never forget Andal. Margazhi is not complete without the mention of Andal. So let's also look at what Andal has to say about this month of Margazhi. It is very known by everyone that Andal has sung Tirupavai, which starts with the verse Margazhi Tingal Madinirainda Nannadal. Andal considers herself to be a gopi and considers her town Srivillibutur to be the Gokul, and the temple there dedicated to Bhagavan to be Nandagopa's Bhavan. and the Bhagavan residing there to be Krishna. And Andal starts singing Tirupavai. She considers herself to be a gopi, and she imagines herself to be doing a vrata. She wants to do a vrata, and for that she is looking for a good day. The day she wants to start the vrata, she looks at the calendar, or rather the panchangam, and she finds that is a very auspicious day. It is not very easy to find an auspicious day. It is a very difficult task to usually find a good auspicious day. Usually, someone, if they want to, find an auspicious day, they go to a Jyotishka, Jyotirvid, and usually they will say that there are only 2-3 muhurtas in this particular month. In the next month there is no muhurta at all, and it is difficult to find a good muhurta. And nowadays you also want those muhurtas to be during weekends, and this combination of weekend and a good muhurta is very difficult to find. But for Andal, she wants to start this vratam. She wakes up the next day and she finds that this is the month of Margazhi, and also the full moon day. She looks at it and says, Margazhi Tingal, Madinirenda Nannal All. The word all here denotes happiness. She is very happy. Usually it's so difficult to find an auspicious day. But for me, I had to start some vrata, and lo behold, this month Margazhi has been waiting for me, and the full moon day has been waiting for me. And so she looks at that, looks at the panchangam and becomes very happy, and she starts with this verse, Margazhi Tingal Madinirainda Nannal All. Our acharyas explain this very beautifully. Usually we think that a good day is related somehow with stars, planets, etc. But what our acharyas say is that a good day is that day when we take a step towards Bhagavan. That is the real good day. It may be a very auspicious day, but if we don't take a step towards Bhagavan, if we don't take a step towards pleasing Bhagavan, then that cannot be an auspicious day. So that is an auspicious day when we take a step towards Bhagavan. So here for Godaji, for Andal, it is an auspicious day, and it is that day in which she is going to take a step towards Bhagavan. The Tirupavai, which consists of 30 verses, starts with the description of the Margazhi month. Margazhi Tingal Madinirainda Nannal All. And I would also like to explain how the Tirupavai ends. See, Andal considers herself to be a gopi who is living in Gokul, but actually she is in Srivilliputtur. Now she wants to go to Bhagavan and from him take some equipments to do a particular vrata. We call it Margazhi Nonbu. But what really happens in Tirupavai is that she, in the first 5 pasurams or songs, she talks about how to do this vratam, what not to do in this vratam, what result they are going to get due to this vratam, and so on. And then in 10 pasurams, she wakes up her friends. So she wakes up her friends in 10 pasurams. She wants to get everyone going, and she wants to bring everyone together, and she wants to go and wake up Krishna. And so in 5 pasurams, she explains some things regarding the vratam, and in 10 pasurams, she goes on waking up her friends, and then she goes and wakes up Krishna. So she tries to wake up Krishna in the 5 pasurams after the 15th pasuram, that is from 16 to 20. she goes and she seeks the permission of the gatekeepers there, and she goes inside. She seeks the permission of Nandagopa, Yashoda, Balarama, and tries to wake up Krishna, but he doesn't wake up. So she finds that she has to wake up Neela Devi, and through her, through proper way, she has to wake up Krishna, and then she goes to Krishna. By this time, 5 pasharams are done, so 20 pasharams are over, and then she wakes up Krishna and asks him to come to a big sabha where she wants to make her prarthana. And at last, while Tirupavai ends, Andal is talking about a vratam till now, and she has been asking Krishna for some equipments that she wants to obtain from Krishna. So Krishna tries to give some equipments to Andal. But in the 29th song of Tirupavai, Andal says, I don't want these equipments. I just want your service. Yettaikum yezhel piravikkum undannod uttomeyavom unakke naam aachaivom. Andal says that we do not want these equipments and we do not want to perform any vrata. All we want to do is to do service at your lotus feet. Unakke naam aachaivom. We undannod uttomeyavom unakke naam aachaivom. We want to be always related to you. Andal says, Undannod uttomeyavom unakke naam aachaivom. She says, O Krishna, I always want to be related to you in some way or the other. And I also always want to please you. I always want to be in service. So, Andal basically says that the culmination point for every soul is to be in eternal service to Bhagavan, in eternal service of the Lord. So, if you look at Tirupavai, it starts with the description of Margazhi month, and it ends by saying that we must be in eternal service to the Lord. So what we can take from this Tirupavai is that this Margazhi month, whatever we do, let's do it as service to Bhagavan. Let's do it to please Bhagavan. This has been the way shown by greats such as Andal and many other acharyas. We must also remember that the art forms such as music, dance, etc. have been developed, have evolved around temples and devotion. So temples and devotion, they have played a very major role in the development of these art forms. So we must never forget that, and we must use these art forms, we must use our skills, talents to please Bhagavan. So this is the way shown by Andal. So whatever we do in this month, and not only in this month, whatever we do, we must try to do them to please Bhagavan and to do every action as service to Bhagavan. That is my humble submission today. Samskriti Europe has been doing a lot of events to promote our Indian culture and art forms. So as part of that, they are conducting this Margazhi Utsavam, where they encourage many youngsters to come and perform, showcase their skills, talents, etc. And by providing them a platform to showcase their skills, they are doing a major service to our culture and to the protection of whatever our elders have strive to protect. So wishing all the best to Samskriti Europe and also all the participants. So I would end my short speech by praying to the Lord that He shows the right path in the future, and also consider whatever is done during this period in these events as his service. So let's enjoy these programs. We'll all get together and enjoy these events which are going to come. Thank you.
Namaskaram everyone. My name is Saikrishna Bogela. I live in Geneva, Switzerland. I learned Carnatic vocal from Srimati Bhanu Kannan when I was living in Hyderabad. I do render Carnatic kritis whenever I get a chance here in Switzerland. I would like to present one Tyagaraja Swamy kriti in the raga Natai, and Talam is Adi. The name of the Kirtana is Ninne Bhajana. Gama gama pama 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 pani pani pama ma pama gama ri ni sa ri sa sa gama gama pama 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 pani pani pama ma pama gama ri sa ri re ga gama ma pa pa da da ni sa ni pa ma ga re ga ni sa ri re ga gama ma pa pa da da ni sa ni pa ma ga ma ri sa ni ne bhajana ಸೇಯುವಾಡನು ನಿನ್ನೆ ಭಜನ ಸಾನಾದಿ ಜಪ ತಪ ಯೋಗ ಧ್ಯಾನ ಸಮಾಧಿ ಸಮಪ್ರದ ಸಾನಾದಿ ಜಪ ತಪ ಯೋಗ ಧ್ಯಾನ ಸಮಾಧಿ ಸುಖ प्रदसितानन्द सकल लोकपालका सीतानन्द सकल लोकपालक त्यागराज सम्मुत निसरिस गम गम पम 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 पनि पानि पम म पम गम रि निसरिस स गम गम पम 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 पनि पानि पम म पम गम रि सरि रि ग गम म प प द द नि सा नि प म गम प म गम रि स सरि रि ग गम म प प द द नि सा नि प म गम प म गम रि स ने भजन सेयुवाडनु ने भजन
श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्य कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्तां सदा कृति सन्तः श्रीरङ्गपृथ्वीशचरणत्राणशेखरा जयन्ति भुवनत्राणपदपङ्कजरेणवः भरताय परं नमोऽस्तु तस्मै प्रथमोदाहरणाय भक्तिभाजां यदुपज्ञमशेषतः पृथिव्यां प्रथितो राघव पादुका प्रभावः श्रीमते रामानुजाय नमः श्रीमते निगमान्त महादेशिकाय नमः अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः Namaskaram to all. It is my honor and pleasure to be able to say a few words about Paduka Prabhavam, the glory of the Padukas, Sri Rama's Padukas, on the occasion of the 4th edition of the online Margazhi Utsavam of Samskriti, Europe. I would like to thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity. Let me start with the context. What is the context? It is the episode in Ramayana, in Ayodhya Kanta, in which the Padukas appear. Sri Rama has been sent to exile for 14 years, while Bharata, his younger brother, was away from Ayodhya. Bharata comes back, learns what has happened, and he immediately decides to go to the forest and bring Rama back. In the forest, he meets Rama, Lakshmana, and Sita and pleads to Rama, begging him to return to Ayodhya. This conversation between Bharata and Rama is one of the most emotional moments in the story of Ramayana. It is intense, captivating, and full of good messages based on dharma. Both the brothers put forward their points based on dharma to argue their cases. Within this conversation, we find, for example, the rules of how to govern a kingdom, the duties of a son, the duties of a prince, a king, the importance of keeping a promise, whatever happens, and finally, and above all, the whole philosophy of life. This last part, the philosophy of life, in the form of words spoken by Rama, is called Rama Gita. As we know, Bhagavad Gita, spoken by Krishna, has 18 chapters. Rama Gita has 18 slokas. Anyway, at the end of the conversation, Bharata finds that Rama is not going to budge whatever he says, or for that matter, anybody else says. And he is therefore helpless. At that point, sage Vasishtha Rishi, Maharishi, tells Bharata to ask Rama for his Padukas, which he does, and Rama gladly and willingly gives him his Padukas, which Bharata also accepts and takes them back to Ayodhya, places them on the throne, and performs the Pattabhishekam for the Padukas, the crowning ceremony. And he rose from outside of the city, from Nandigram, under the guidance of the Padukas for 14 years, till Rama's return. And in fact, we don't see Bharata in the story till the return of Rama after the battle. So this is the context. I'm going to highlight the glory of Padukas, try to highlight the glory of the Padukas by asking some questions, legitimate and valid questions that can come up in all our minds based on the story that we have just seen. And the first question is, why did Bharata accept the Padukas when he was so determined that Rama should return to Ayodhya? The answer goes something like this. You see, let's say we ask for something. You ask for something, let's say A. But then you accept something else, which is B. When would you do that? The logical answer is when B is better than A. Say you ask for 100 francs and you get 1,000 francs. You're not going to say no. So Bharata accepted the Padukas because the Padukas are considered to be even more valuable than Rama himself. So Bharata receives the Padukas and returns to Ayodhya with satisfaction. So the next natural question is, why are the Padukas more valuable than Rama himself? Swami Desikan beautifully describes how in his Paduka Sahasra, it's a composition, a wonderful composition of 1,008 verses on the Padukas of Sri Ranganatha at Srirangam temple. And he describes many situations where the Supreme Lord Vishnu accomplishes many extraordinary feats in his incarnations and because of the Padukas. So I'm going to just cite a few, even only a couple of these situations for lack of time. And I will start with Vaman Avatar. As we all know, Mahavishnu took the form of a young boy, Vamana, and he goes to the yaga of Mahabali, King Mahabali, and asks for 3 feet of land. Even in this situation itself, Swami Desikan says, why did Mahabali accept? Because he was so mesmerized by the Lord, the walk of the Lord approaching him in his Padukas. It is the Padukas that mesmerized King Mahabali and made him accept. And so he decided to accept whatever this young boy is going to ask, even before Vamana could ask, in spite of the fact that his guru said, no, don't accept. And as we know, after accepting the boon, Lord Vishnu, Vamana, grows bigger and bigger and bigger. And with 1 foot, he measures the worlds below, the nether worlds. With another foot, he measures the world above, all the worlds above. And then he says, where do I go for the 3rd foot, right? Now Swami Desikan asked the question, when he measures the upper worlds, all the glowing hot stars, the sun are going to touch his foot, right? Why did the foot not get burnt? And he says the answer is because he was wearing his Padukas. The Paduka protected the foot. What a wonderful imagination. The next situation I'm going to take is that of Ahalya Vimochanam. This is in Ramayana itself. We all know the story of Ahalya, the wife of Gautama Rishi, who was under a curse and who got liberated by the dust of Rama's feet falling on her. And so Desikan asks, how did the dust reach Ahalya? This is how it is described in Valmiki Ramayana. Ahalya was invisible and the dust from Rama's feet fell on her and then she became Ahalya, but she took the original form again. So Swami Desikan says, how did the dust fall on her? How did it reach her? And he answers, it is because he was wearing his Padukas. Why? When you walk barefoot, you don't generate that much of a dust. Whereas when you walk with your sandals, Padukas, the dust produced is much, much more and has a wider reach. Again, what a creative imagination. And in fact, he goes on and he says, when Bharata asked Rama for his sandals, Bharata says to Rama, please wear the sandals and give them to me. Again, one can ask the question, why did he ask Rama to wear them before? And logically, ordinary beings like me will say, it is because he wanted Rama to transfer his knowledge and power to the Padukas so that they can help him rule Ayodhya when he takes them back. And Swami Desikan says, you are completely mistaken. It is the other way around. He asked Rama to wear the Padukas because he wanted the Padukas to transfer their knowledge and power to Rama so that he can be safe in the forest for 14 years. And he goes on and on and on. So by now, I think all of you would have another question. How can the Padukas rule Ayodhya? Do they have knowledge and power? And how can they rule a kingdom? And the answer, all the Purvacharyas say, the answer is definitely yes, they have power and knowledge. Let's see how. We all agree that the Supreme Being is of infinite knowledge, he has infinite power, infinite auspicious qualities. So when he takes the form, when he comes as an incarnation, the form, this knowledge and power also are in the form taken by the Supreme Being. Though the Rama, for example, did not show or use that knowledge and power, it was in him. It is all the time in all the incarnations. And when we talk of the form, it is not just the bare physical body, it's all that goes with it. Now the ornaments, the clothes, the weapons, the Padukas, everything has infinite knowledge and power. Even looking at it from another angle, Puranas say that the Padukas are an incarnation of Adisesha, the serpent on which Lord Vishnu resides, and therefore they also have knowledge and power. We may still be not fully convinced, right? We say, okay, even if we accept, how can they rule? They have taken a form by which they cannot talk, right, Padukas? So how can they rule a kingdom? See, imagine, this is how it happens. It is said in Valmiki Ramayana that Bharata reports all that happens to the Padukas every day and gets their approval for the next day's future actions and decisions. We think that the transmission of knowledge and power has to happen only through oral conversation, but it's not necessary. When Bharata was in the presence of the Padukas, he got some ideas about what to do and how to rule. The transmission of the knowledge happened through other communication channels, through vibrations. You would have felt yourself when you're sincerely praying in your prayer room, for example, when you're in front of God, concentrating, focusing, you might get some thoughts that you will never get outside. So that is how they transmit their knowledge to you, to Bharata. That is how the Padukas transmitted their knowledge to Bharata. And he was able to rule under their guidance. Now, a final question. So we say that Padukas have knowledge. We say the Padukas can transmit their knowledge through other ways, through other communication channels than just oral conversations. Then the question comes, how was the rule of the Padukas? How was their reign? And there, everyone is unanimous. It was perfect. No blemish, no wrong committed. The people of Ayodhya were content. Although they missed Rama and Sita, they were content. And it was a perfect rule. So on this positive note, let me conclude this presentation. Kavitarkika Simhaya Kalyana Gunasaline Srimate Venkateshaya Vedanta Gurave Namaha.
Hello, I'm Shreyas Joglekar from Lausanne, Switzerland. Team Samskriti Europe is back with the organization of Margazhi Utsavam from January 1st to January 10th. It's a wonderful opportunity for many artists who perform Indian classical music, dance, and many other genres of art. I wish them all the best for a successful organization, and I'm sure that this event is going to be a huge success.
Namaste everyone, I'm Veena, a Bharatanatyam dancer based in Basel. Samskriti Europe is back with their 4th edition of Margazhi Festival, and this year they have a wonderful lineup of artists who are young, yet enthusiastic and very talented. I wish them all the very best. Kindly, all Rasikas, tune in to their YouTube channel and support them. Thank you.
Namaskaram to all. I'm Deepak Sairam. I'm a doctoral researcher at the German Cancer Research Center in Heidelberg. It's my extreme pleasure to perform on the Saraswati Veena during this auspicious occasion of Margazhi, and I'm thankful to the organizers of Samskriti Europe for giving me this opportunity. I started learning Veena under the tutelage of Vidushi Nagaratna Shashidhar, and at present I am learning from Vidushi Karaikudi Shamala Bhaskar. Today I would be rendering Tanam on the Veena. Tanam is a part of the Manodharma Sangita, which refers to the creative aspect of the South Indian classical music system. The Tanam word itself is extrapolated as Anantam and Anandam, which refers to eternal happiness. Playing or listening to Tanam is supposed to bring joy and auspiciousness. Today I would be playing Tanam in various ragas, and hence it's known as Tana Malika. I would like to take you with me on the journey of Tanam. Wishing you a happy Margazhi.
Dum